Thank you, President. And my question is for the Minister for Local Government. At the beginning of this month, you announced the Gender Equality Advisory Committee, which, among other things, will drive the implementation of the Australian First Gender Equality Act across local government. And I think you spoke more about it, if I was right, in your minister's statement this week. Local government is a massive employer of women, but many of the services that they provide are contracted on a short-term basis. This leads to job insecurity and knowledge loss through job churn. Can the Minister explain what the rationale is for delivering these essential services on short-term contracts?
Mr. Lean.
Thanks for the call, President. I thank Ms. Patten for a question. It's a very good question, a very interesting question. And can I start by saying that I will get to the crux of her question, can I start by saying that local government is its own tier of government, which through the Victorian Constitution, state constitution, and they have their right to set their own budgets and their own priorities in line with, I'd hope, with the communities they represent, priorities. So the Gender Equality Local Government Committee, my original thoughts around that is that we do have a goal to get to a certain point where, particularly with elected representatives, that there is a gender balance. And I think I've crowed a few times. We were quite happy with the last election going towards that, but it hasn't got to the point where the goal that we'd had set. But in saying that, I think that's important work. But I think there's a lot more this group can do as far as assisting and advising how we achieve the objectives in the Act. So I'm pretty keen for this group to do work in this area. And one of the areas that I was hoping to work in was a bit of a culture change as well, as far as attitudes in some of the sector, not all of the sector, but some attitudes when you read the Monitor's reports which brought legislation in this House to remove some councils in recent times and put in administration. It's quite horrifying, actually, some of the behaviour towards staff. And staff's an area I'm really keen that I think we need to get an awareness to, and that's why this group will have high-level members of staff, but also members of staff that may not be in the high ranks of management to get that feedback. So as far as the job security, as far as contracting out, as I said, look, councils have the right, outside of whatever I think, to set their own budgets and how they go about it and how they go about their contracting. But I think it's an area that I'm more than happy to consider. One thing about the local government sector, which I think is great, is that gender balance is really good. When you look at libraries, I think libraries, the gender balance is about 85% women. So it's an area where I know I might be outraged that there's more women than men in some workplaces for some people. I mean, that might be a shock. Get the smelling salts out. So the answer to your question is that I can't give you a definitive answer, but I'm more than happy to look at it and work towards a better outcome for those workers that you are concerned about.
Thank you. Ms. Patten on a supplementary.
Thank you, President, and thank you, Minister. And in some ways, you've almost affirmed the question I was going to ask you as supplementary. But I mean, the Queensland government has acknowledged the short-sightedness of short-term contracts in regards to local government, and now issue 5-year contracts, which has been a huge success in ensuring the job security of many women in the sector. Has the Minister spoken to his interstate counterparts to ascertain how Queensland implemented longer-term contracts in the local government sector?
Mr. Lean.
The answer to the supplementary is no, but there's a but. I'm actually more than happy, like any jurisdiction that's doing anything better than we may be doing in this sector, I'm more than happy to have a conversation, with them. I think that there's a bit of a rethink about the way people should be employed. And this was a sector where there was a bit of people was a bit caught out, I think, in their employment arrangements and their contracting arrangements about making sure ways to look after really good people that were doing really good work. And I think, yeah, this is a sector that was a bit caught out in that area. So I'm more than happy to speak to, I think it's the Deputy Premier in Queensland that's now the local government minister. And what a ripping bloke he is. And his attitude towards the federal government is just gold. So thank you for inviting me to have a chat to him.
Thank you.